So, okay, it's recording now.
Okay, no problem. Let me just share my screen with you so that you can then be able to see the details. Present desktop. Yeah, just let me know when you can see the screen.
Okay. Not yet.
Okay.
Strange because I don't see even some loading window. Just
check. Yeah, because I'm actually. Let me start because it says it's presenting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it.
Can you see
Yes,
something?
I see everything.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, so what you see now on screen, Andre, and I'm hoping you can see the screen now.
Yeah, I see the WPS homepage. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I wanted to just start off with. As you know, our construction solution consists of the server side component, and then of course that is the construct sim, which is on the client machine, right? So what you see here is the WPS front end page or the home page, and this is basically connected to the construction work package server. So whatever information that you see through this interface is basically the information that is there on the construction work package server. Okay.
Okay.
So I've already logged in there, and I will just show you that I've logged in as Rodney Mascarenas. And once I've finished my work, I can always sign out from here.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the home page, as you said, and what I have here is a project that is based in on the Extend server. So the first and foremost, the major advantage that we have in a client server based application, especially with our cloud offering, that your project data can be residing anywhere in the world, but you will be able to access it provided you have connectivity, like the internet connection, right?
Right.
So in this example, I'm connecting to the data that is residing in Exton, and I have the construct sim on my local machine, so I can work with the same data. And that's one of the major advantages that we offer to our clients, that especially on a multi-billion-dollar project, they may have multiple offices around the globe, but still they will be able to connect to the project data and work as one integrated project team. Okay.
Yeah, sure. So single construct sim is not able to synchronize. Yes. I mean globally. So using construct sim, you can only use local data, but using
Local data, yes.
okay.
Yes. You can still share on multiple machines, but then you won't be able to view the same data. Okay. And that's the
Okay.
reason why we need WPS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just show you the first module, which is basically the project data. So normally you have a project with the name and the project code, and you will also check whether the schedule for that is approved. Normally you have the client name. Now in your case, if Nippy Gas is adopting this, the client name will be Nippy Gas. And then there will be a brief description of the project itself. Okay, so just gives you an idea of the overall project scenario. Then in the next tab, you have what we call it as the bulk upload, and you should be able to see it in a couple of seconds on your screen.
Yeah.
Now the bulk upload is basically to upload all project information, whether it is the instrument list, the electric raceway, spreadsheet, the equipment list, line list. So anything related to the project, which is in the form of a document, can then be bulk uploaded. So you don't have to just load one document at a time. You can bulk upload all this project information. So it is available. The latest information is available for everyone in the project to view it. Okay.
Okay.
And then, of course, there are the different types within that as well. So you can actually segregate and search for it based on whether it is electrical equipment, instrumentation, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that makes it easier for the project team to find the information as they go along. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also to map it to the different XML formats and things like that, you can do that. And of course, it also tells you a brief about when it was brief data about when it was loaded, by whom it was loaded, and so on and so forth.
So
Okay.
I see the revision column. So it means that if we have, for example, some changes in our project schedule, so
Yeah.
we can upload it again, and it will be revision 2, and it will
Yes.
upload in Construct Sim, yes, in WPS, and so yeah.
Yeah, no, this is only in WPS.
Okay.
I will tell you, yeah, this is only in WPS.
Okay.
What you do in bulk load will not affect Construct Sim. This is
Okay.
basically for WPS.
Okay. Yes.
Because it's still in the document format. Now, I'll tell you when we actually synchronize it with Construct Sim as well. Okay.
Okay.
So the third column, if you see, or the third tab here is the Documents tab. Now, this is where the project-related documentation will go. You can upload individual documents here, like the pre-hydro punch list or the test release, or if there's any project specification, you can actually upload it in this document. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the advantage of loading these documents is also we can link it to our different Construct Sim work packages. Okay. And I will show you later on when we see the construction work package or the engineering work pack, how we can actually link these documents to that.
Okay, so but what's the difference? I mean, what's the main difference between bulk upload and documents? So it's the difference in types of documents, yes?
Difference in types of documents and also the way it is loaded. Like bulk upload, you can just upload a full folder or all the documentation and in bulk. But on the documents, yes, like the file types are different. Like if you see the document types here, it actually tells you whether it's a procedure, a permit, or whether it's a report, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the different types of information related to the project will go into the different folders.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So let's move on to the next tab, which is the engineering tab. And like I said to you the other day, you can create your engineering work package right here through WPS itself. Okay. So in order to create, you can just hit the Create Engineering Work Pack button, and it'll automatically upload a page where you can give it a title. You can give the discipline name, whether it is piping, cable, or whatever it is, cable trays, equipment, and so on and so forth. You can give a description to that, and also you can select the data provider. Okay, you can have a list of number of people who are providing the data for. Now, in this case, you have AMEC, EPC, piping, engineering, and so on and so forth. So, if NIPI Gas has multiple engineering service, engineering offices providing them the information, they can list them out, and then based on who is doing the engineering work package, they can list them out as the data provider.
Okay. Yes.
And then, of course, at a high level, you can check the status of this engineering package, whether it has been issued, whether there is any hold on this whole engineering package. Now, this is at a very high level, right? Like the other day, I showed you the hierarchy, how it goes from engineering work pack to construction work pack, and from a construction work pack it flows down to the installation work pack. So this is at a higher level where you can record the status of the work pack. And then of course when it was received, and you can have all that information that is there recorded at that stage. Now I'll just show you an engineering work package which is already there. So that will give you an idea of how the information is entered. So let's take, for instance, now these are some of the work packages that you see on screen. So maybe I will open up one of them, engineering work pack 206. Now this is basically the information that goes in there, right? So you have provided all this information. Then of course there is the different tabs on top which shows the related work packages, the schedule that can be linked to this work package, the bulk imports, the CAD models, isometric file, because every engineering work pack has all this information that goes together, right? Because well, it's not only enough for you to do the 3D modeling of the work package, but you should also have the isometric drawings, the steel detailing, and the other documentation that goes with it, right?
Okay, yeah, right.
So that all that information can basically be loaded. So if you go into the related work pack, it'll tell you that under this engineering work pack, you have these 6 what we call them as construction work packages. Okay.
Yeah.
So and then each of these construction work packages can be monitored and so on and so forth. So if I want to look at the piping work pack, I can go drill down into that. So that takes me into now the construction work package. So all this information is linked. Now, on any project, there will always be this information, but many times the information is scattered, right? So you do not have it at the click of your fingers. So what Work Package Server or WPS allows you to do is basically first of all, collect all the information and then link it together so that you can view it from that end. Okay. Now I'm just looking at this construction work pack for the hot and cold separator piping, and it tells me that the overall progress is 0 because it has not yet started. So what are the total estimated hours? How many actual hours were spent on this work package? And so on and so forth. Okay, so that is basically telling me where this particular work package is residing.
Rodney, I see the related engineering work packages, and in the first step, I see a related construction work packages. I see that we can link several construction work packages for engineering work package, and we can create a work package based on several engineering work package. Yeah, so it's not like one to one dependence. Yeah, so we can use several packages for. Am I right?
Yeah. Now you have to be careful how you define the engineering work pack, because the thing is, with the engineering work pack, it can be the higher level work pack which covers everything. So in that case, it will be a one-to-many. So one engineering package will have multiple construction work packages.
Yeah.
And under one construction work package, you will have multiple installation work packages. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And of course, we'll take a look at the installation work package and to what granularity we typically go. Okay.
Okay.
So if I go back to the home page and go now into the installation work pack, now here's a typical example of a list of the installation work pack, and on the right hand side you will see how the progress is being monitored. Whether of course, first of all, you need to know what discipline it comes under.
Yeah.
And what is the activity type, whether it's the installation work package or whether it's a fabrication or whatever it is. And once that has been decided, then of course you can monitor the progress on the field itself. And we'll take a look at this particular work package P1003. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells me that this particular work package, the total estimated hours was 549, but the actual hours that have been put in is only 100. So that's why it is showing, oh sorry, the earned value is 184,
What does
and that's
mean?
why it's
What does mean earned? I mean,
earned in the sense like, yeah, the amount of hours that are spent.
but what is the actual then? I mean,
Uh,
I understand that estimated is the hours that calculated by construct sim. Yes, when we
yes, yes,
yes,
yes.
actual
Uh,
and yeah, it's not clear for me. I mean, difference between actual and earned.
Actual and earned. Well, again, I'll have to clarify this again
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but earned is definitely the total hours that were um, sort of spent on this particular work package. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, actual, yeah, I'll get back to you on this one as to what exactly the difference is. Um, yeah. So again, as I said, if we can go into the different bar tabs here. So you have
Mm-hmm.
the related work pack that it is linked to, the schedule of when this particular uh, work pack was supposed to start, when is the finish date, so on and so forth. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Then of course you have the personnel, the people who are actually working on this. Who was the
Mm-hmm.
planner? Who's the superintendent, the general foreman, and also the foreman. Now, if any of the foremen, or even let's say the general foreman has left the job, so you can clearly see, because it is all the information is linked, you can clearly see the impact of a person leaving on the installation work packs. So you can generate a report to say, oh, if this particular general foreman has left the job, which were the installation work packages that he was working, on, or what is the effect of this on the project. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then of course you can, in the installation work package, you can actually drill down to the task level. So it tells you not only the actual installation work pack, but each task that is required to be completed in order to complete that um, work package. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
And then of course you can also check the material, whether the material is available for that particular, what is the material that is required. Now this is actually generating like a report. So it tells you what the material is. So you can then coordinate with the materials department and see in which isometric it belongs to, and so on and so forth. So that is the link that we provide between the different, like the other day I showed you that PowerPoint presentation, right, where we create this virtual construction model,
Mm-hmm.
and sorry, the virtual construction model, and that basically then brings information from the different sources. So this is actually the resultant of all of that. So what you see on screen is basically information coming from materials department, from the engineering department, from the fabricator, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So again, as I said, you can also go and have a look at the construction documents, or you can go into the progress reports straight away and check the different predefined reports that are already there. So let's say you want to have a look at all the pipe spool list. So you can just go and click on the pipe spool list. You can check the work packages for which you want that list. And based on that, it will generate a report to say for these two particular, so whether the spools are ready or not, or which are the spool numbers that need to be covered under these two spools. Okay?
Okay.
For those two work packages. So all this information basically gets stored in one central location, but it is coming from different sources. Okay. So that is more or less the information that is there for your work packages and the documentation that is available for any particular project. Okay, so in the new version, they have also added this called as the pending tasks. So it will give you a list of all the tasks that are still yet to be completed, and also the task administration. So at the moment, there is not much in here, but you can add those onto a project. But this is something new that they have added in the WPS.
Okay.
The tasks, the taskbar.
What does it mean? You mean if somebody, if you assign to a construction work package or engineering work package or installation work package, yes? So you receive the task. Okay.
Yeah. So what you get is a report from the field to say that these are the tasks still pending. Right?
Okay.
It's like a punch list. So and that punch list then gets uploaded here. So if there is anyone who looks at or who wants to get a report of the pending tasks, so instead of going to each individual work package, they can straight away go and have a look at which are the pending tasks here. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So that is as far as the WPS is concerned, Andre. Again, as I said, a simple interface. Nothing. There is no rocket science here, but the power that it gives the construction management crew is enormous, because you have all the information, and not only all the information, but all the information that is linked together. And the other thing is, if I go into the installation work package, let's say for instance, and I want to check on the same installation work package that we have created, you can then go ahead and issue these work pack straight away. So you can actually publish the bookmarks for that. You can export the package. You can edit the package. Now, many times what happens is people do not look at when you issue it to field, they still want your paper documents, right? So you can export this package and publish it in a form of a PDF, and then give that PDF to the crew, right? So if they still want, let's say, the published hard document, they can do that from here as well. Now, what happens is when you export the package, it also gives you all the information. So it packages together the isometrics, the material list, the personnel who are supposed to create that, and the schedule for that as well. So it's all a complete package that you can issue to the site. Okay, and WPS does a wonderful job of doing that, so that no information is left out or is missing. Everything is linked together. So when you issue or export the work package, you can be rest assured that all the information linked to that work package is being sent to site.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's go back to the home page, and now I will take you through to the construct sim side of it, because that is where the major action happens. So here I can just create the shell of the work pack, but the actual synchronization and launching is done from here. So when I do a sync and launch, it goes and sort of recreates the whole construct sim virtual model on my local machine, and it also syncs the data. So it keeps a local copy. And when that happens, what you can do is basically disconnect from your project, work independently without being connected, and then again come and sync it back. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is one of the major advantages that we offer to our clients, is that we give them the flexibility of working in a connected as well as a disconnected mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I launch this, and because of time constraints, I've already launched and opened it up on my machine. This is what you will see basically. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I do a sync and launch, it actually opens up Construct Sim, and then it will open up the virtual construction model with all the information synchronized with the database, including the schedule and or the user-defined groups and all the components that you can see on this tree, on the component tree actually.
Is it another schedule, or is it a schedule that was imported by bulk upload?
It was the schedule that was by the bulk upload.
Okay.
Basically, that is the project schedule. There is
Okay.
always only one schedule, and that is maintained, consistently on the WPS as well as within the Construct Sim.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go into the on the left hand side, you see a number of tabs here. And one of the tabs is the component tree, right? So I can drill down into the different components, and I can see the equipment, the piping, the structures, and any other general equipment. And I can switch on and switch off the equipment if I want to.
Yeah.
See here. So just with the click of a button, I can switch it on and switch it back on again. Okay.
Yeah.
Same I can do for piping as well as for structural. Okay.
Okay.
And like I said the other day, this information or the CAD information can become, it can be brought in from PDS, PDMS, Smart Plant, or any of our Bentley products like Open Plant or Plant Space or even AutoPlant.
Okay.
Okay. So we give the user a flexibility of using whatever design tool they want, but we can bring that same information in here with all its graphics and also the intelligence. So when I say intelligence, it is the engineering information that comes along with the 3D model.
Okay, yeah, understand.
Okay, you understand that. So we also have under structural, you will notice here that it is all being linked as the assemblies, right? Instead of just components, we have the assemblies, and under each assembly, you have the different parts that are associated with each of these assemblies. So, but this is the information that we can bring from products like Pro Steel or any other structural steel package.
Okay.
That does the detailing. Okay. Now, to quickly show you the other thing that is there, because this is basically a window where it has a series of drop-down menus. Now, most of the drop-down menus are the ones that come from MicroStation, but the only difference here as far as Construct Sim is concerned is this particular drop-down menu. You can partially see it. It's called the and one of them is the status visualization option. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, under status visualization, I think I did show you the other day, you can bring in the information and view it in a way you want to. Okay, let's say you want to see the equipment and you want to see the
Oh,
Equipment delivery.
Rodney, I think that I lose your screen some
Has it
somehow.
gone?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let me just go back again. Hold on. I will reshare my screen. I think network issues. It's saying I don't know what's the problem. Let me reshare it.
Okay. Mm.
Just tell me when you can see it.
Okay, yeah, but not yet.
Okay.
Strange. She's just turned off. 1 second.
Uh,
Maybe you can turn it again. Oh, okay, loading. Okay.
Loading? Okay, okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Maybe it's a bit slow. It's a bit slow, I think. We'll have to work
Okay,
around
I
that.
see. I see a screen.
Okay, you see my screen
Yeah,
now. I'll just open up the construct sim status
yeah.
visualization window. Okay, and let me know when you can see that,
I see. I
the
see.
status visual. Okay, so let's say I want to check the equipment status visualization, right? So I can go into uh, the type which is called equipment delivery, and I can go and color all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it basically goes and puts everything in a faded color or in a faded mode and brings up only those that I have linked here. And it says that is there anything on green, that equipment is already on site. And if it is yellow, it's more than 3 weeks away from this particular from the delivery,
Okay,
right?
Rodney, but where this information is stored? When and how it was imported to the construct sim?
Okay. Now, what happens now? This is something that now we are getting into more technical details.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is when you have to create the virtual construction model,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there is a admin tool called the CSIM or ConstructSim Executive,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
The,
Mm-hmm.
the ConstructSim Executive basically helps you to bring in the information in here, right? Whether it is the CAD information, whether it's the isometric information, whether it is the line lists, equipment list, anything that is related to the CAD information is brought into the virtual construction model through the executive.
Okay. Okay, so we need to run this executive, for example, every 3 weeks, yes, to update our information from.
Exactly. Like
Okay.
I said the other day, it all depends on how often the
Yeah, yeah, I understand it. Okay.
information changes, and then you can run that executive. Exactly. That executive basically needs to be set up for the different types of CAD information. It needs to be set up for the type of the different formats for the Excel spreadsheet, and so
Okay.
on and so forth.
And
Okay, so that is the information that is already in here, and
mm-hmm.
that is why you can analyze it in a graphical manner.
Okay. And just to clarify, um, all this information is just for construct sim. I mean that this information is not able in WPS, right? So
No,
okay, continue.
no, it is. You know what happens is, of course, when you say it is for construction for a visual look, but when I go, let me just close this, okay? So
Yeah.
when I've done all this, let's say I've done today I've got a new schedule information, or I've got new material management information, and I've already created or I've recreated my construction model. I can go into this tool called synchronization.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you see it on screen now?
Yes, yes. I see it.
Yeah, and then I can say synchronize changes. That means whatever is there in the CSIM, you synchronize it with WPS. So effectively, that information then goes into WPS as well.
So in WPS I can see the same data. I mean, they already on site. It will be delivered in 3 weeks. Yes, so I can
Yeah,
see
but
it.
there no, but there it is not graphical, right? So if you want to
Okay.
see it in the 3D model, then you have to use
Yeah, I
CSIM.
understand. Okay,
But
okay.
all the information about the material is stored in WPS. Let's say the Excel spreadsheet that I got can be uploaded there, or the information that is there is basically uploaded into WPS.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because no, it's just a question for from Nipigas. I mean, what can we do without 3D model? So if we have just information, just some
Yeah.
spreadsheets, it will be
Yeah,
good.
if you have just information, you can still upload it into WPS and
Okay.
generate the reports. But that will only be Excel spreadsheet. It
Yeah.
won't be a graphical report like this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Are you with me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to the status visualization and let's have a look at some of the piping information. Okay. So under piping, let's say I want to look at the isometric release. Okay. Because I want to see that for my particular piping, whether the isometric drawings have been released or not. Okay. Now I can have various status fields here. Like in this case, in case of isometric release, there can be whether it is en route, whether it's still in checking, whether it is in detailing, whether there are any comments associated with the isometric drawing, whether it is in stress, RFID hold, vendor hold, or whether it has been issued for construction. Or if it is in this particular color, which is the dark pink color, it is still in CAD. Okay. So I just want to know what is the status on my pipe. So I just go and hit all. And again, like previous for equipment, it goes and checks for the piping and it will go and put it in these different colors. Okay. So anything in green means it has already been issued for construction. Any other color, that means the status is different for those particular pipes. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So now, again, as I said, this is basically the same drawing that we are using, the same 3D CAD model. But with that 3D CAD model, we are bringing in the isometric information. We are bringing in information from the fabricator because we need to know. We are bringing in information from the design department, from the stress analysis department. So all that information, unless and until you bring it together, you will not be able to do something like what I've just shown.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the advantage of bringing that information together and then using it in CSIM, because now we have a very full interpretation of information. Because if you give me 10 sheets of Excel spreadsheet and say, oh, this is the status of all the pipes, I have to go through each line on that status and say, oh, which one is issued, which is not. And then when I look at the 3D model, I cannot directly link it, right? So let's say, for instance, I have this as the isometric release, but at the same time, I also want to look at the equipment as well, right? So I want to check whether so what I can do is, instead of going and checking each individually, I can just click on this button here on the right hand side, which says incremental. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So when I click on that incremental, it will keep this status as it is for piping, and it will go and check for equipment now and check whether the equipment is installed. Okay. So anything green means it is ready for pipe. So I want to check for all my isometric release piping whether the equipment is available on site or whether it is ready for installation or ready for piping. So I can just go and hit the all button again, and then it will show me which are the equipments that are already ready for piping.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
Okay, so that is the advantage of having the equipment and the piping information together and then doing an incremental. Okay. So
Okay, yeah.
people who are monitoring the project construction activities can straight away say whether everything is going on smoothly on that particular project or not.
Yeah, yeah. It's very nice. I like it. I mean, this
Yeah.
combination of equipment and pipes.
And piping together. Yes, exactly. So this way we can do different types of status visualization, right? Like I said, um, now just to give you another example within the status visualization itself, we have uh, this one for under piping. You see the number of options that we have for, we can just check for installation, we can just check for isometrics, we can check for spool fabrication, and we can also check for welding inspection, which are the ones which were weld inspected, which is not, especially for the field welds,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now with the field welds, what we do, and this is typical of Construct Sim, if you zoom here closely, you will notice these rings that are there on the pipe. Now these are nothing but the field welds, and what Construct Sim does is basically adds these graphical information over and above the CAD information that comes from PDS or PDMS or even SmartPlant. Because normally many of the design packages, they don't show the field weld as a modeled item or a CAD item, but we show that so that it is easy to then monitor and report out on these field welds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But it's related to the pipe component, yeah. So it's.
Yes.
I mean, when we select no, when we select a boundary for a work package, yeah, if we use a pipe discipline, so we both select the pipes and this will I mean, when we're trying to generate tasks, so this will be generated as separate tasks, yes. So
No, 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 no.
no.
These welds are decided by the spools. See,
Okay.
what you're showing is basically the tasks. The tasks are different. Yes, of course. The task will take into consideration how many field welds are there within that boundary.
Uh-huh.
But these are something which will be decided by once you generate the isometric and send it to the fabricator.
Mm-hmm.
The fabricator will decide that this isometric there has to be 4 spools. Okay, so he will fabricate the spools, and those 4 spools, when they have to be joined on site, we need a field weld for that.
Okay.
If it is not a flange joint, then it is a field weld. So if it is a welded joint, then these 4 spools have to be joined by welds, and those are basically called the field welds. That means this welding is done on site.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is what we monitor basically, as how many field welds have to be done, what is the status of these field welds, whether they have been, once it is welded, whether they have been tested or not. So it is all these aspects of construction that we can cover using the CSIM and WPS data,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Right.
So also, like, you can link it to a schedule. Like, you have the schedule information that we have here. If you notice, we have set it to a different field. So I can set the interval to 20 days, and I can just go and say, what is that color all activity? Is this the color activity? Okay, these are all the tasks. These are the different types. So what I can do is basically show. So if I take it back, So I can link the schedule to the graphics as well and do a playback. Why is it not showing me? Okay, maybe I can just show it to you in another model. I've got another construction model open here.
Okay.
Just let me know. Can you see this on screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Here also again it's similar to the WPS, I mean the construct sim that you saw earlier, but this is just another different model. Even in this you will have the status visualization, and under this, of course, this was done for IPL. You know the
Yeah, yes,
IPL.
yes, sure.
So
I know this model.
this is the part of the IPL data,
Mm-hmm.
and under this you will see that there are many more options that we have created. So there's commissioning, constructability under the types,
Okay, yeah.
and there's also the material management information. So whether the material has been allocated or not, or we can check what is the ETA for pipes, right? What time is the delivery? I can check for, if I go into piping, I can check for the priority, which are the priority ones and which are priority two. So I'll just zoom in closer here. Let me just zoom. I'll just zoom into a particular area just to show you some of the other options here. So let's say I want to check the priority of the piping. I can do the color all. So it tells me which is priority 1 or which is phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3
Okay.
in the piping as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and for the schedule, I can just go and let's say focus on one of the hydrostatic units. Okay. And in this hydrostatic unit, I've actually linked it to my tasks. So if I go into the animation tool, so you should see here, as I'm starting, it all disappears, and it goes on. And as I progress the schedule, it will show me how it is being constructed. Okay, anything in green means it is still under construction, and once it is completed, it turns into a gray color. Okay,
Yeah.
so you
Okay.
can see here how it is being constructed. And
Okay, but what's the difference? This tool is like a microstation, yes, to animation. But in the previous Construct Sim client, you were using some another
yes,
tool. So what's the difference? What's the
it is the same tool actually, but in there you can actually do it within Construct Sim itself. Whereas here you can do it through a navigator tool. So
yeah.
the users have the option of both. They can either use the one within Construct Sim to actually link it to the schedule, or they can use this our preview tool here. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's the same. Again, like you see, I'm showing you the schedule for the heat exchanger, and you will notice that the heat exchanger there on the corner there, the one that is on top is being first, and the one below is being installed later. So
Yeah.
you know straight away that it is out of sequence, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
you can go and take corrective action. At the same time, you will see here there is some piping that is being installed without the equipment there. So all these kind of I would say corrective actions can be taken based on the link of the schedule. So because the schedule is linked to the 3D model, it gives you the capability of then analyzing it from a schedule point of view. And if there is anything out of sequence, then you can go back to your planner and do the rescheduling of the deliveries on site. Or you can readjust the construction sequence so that you get the sequence right. So this is like a communication tool that you can give back the feedback to the planners to say that something has gone wrong, right?
Right.
So it's like a corrective action that you can take based on the schedule.
Okay.
Okay. Similarly, as I'm progressing, that you will notice that the piping is being installed, and in this case, the equipment is coming later on. Let's see if here these two fans have been installed later, whereas the piping is already in place. So, which is a wrong sequence again. You need the equipment first, and then the piping needs to come later on. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how you basically take corrective action once the schedule is linked and you have the 3D model in place. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions on that so far?
No, it's clear. Okay.
That's clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's go back to our original model. And I'll just dock this back again. So let me bring all the components back. Focus. Okay. So we also have what we call it as the look ahead planner, right? Or before that, let me show you the work packaging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this is one of the major or the features that we have as far as the WPS is concerned, that we can graphically create the work packages in ConstructSim, right? You have seen in WPS how it lists out the work package and you see the tasks there, right? So what you can do is basically create the shell of the work package in WPS and then come back into ConstructSim and recreate the tasks basically. So if I want to create a new, let's say, installation work pack, I can just go ahead and say new work pack. I will create a piping work package.
Mm-hmm.
And I will create an installation work pack. So the moment I do this, you see that it is showing me all the piping that is available for work packaging, right? So anything in green means I can create a work package out of it. So I can just select the work either at an isometric level, or I can just go and select individual components. So if I select a piping, and because I've selected isometric, it will select all the piping that is associated with that. And when I hit add button, you will notice that it actually brings in all the information. And in order to do this particular piping task, it says that it takes 7 tasks to be completed and 18 hours. So I can go on adding the piping as I go along and create my work packages that way. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can build a work pack up to 500 hours or 600 hours. And then I can just say, once I've done that, now for the sake of this demo, I'll just say OK here. So it gives me, it allows me to create the work pack. I'll just name it 101. Okay, so IP001. And then I hit the OK button. So it is basically going and creating that work pack. Now, once I've created the work pack and I've done everything, so it allows me to build these work packages. And once I've done all that, I can go and then synchronize it back to the work package server.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, all the tasks, so because manually, if you do a work package worth, let's say, about 500 hours, it takes you about 8 to 10 hours at least to create that work pack, because you have to sit with all the 3D model and all the details. You have to sit with the budgeted hours and so on and so forth. Whereas here you have a graphical tool that already has the 3D model in place, that has all the budgeted hours linked to it. Now these budgeted hours are coming from a handbook similar to Page and Nations. So when we deliver the ConstructSim tool, we provide this as a deliverable along with the ConstructSim.
Yeah.
So the clients can then, if they want to change anything, they can change that, because depending on where the project is being executed, some of the budgeted hours may change. So we give the users the flexibility of changing those hours as well. Okay.
Okay.
So graphically, it takes hardly an hour for us to create the work package. Now imagine if you have to do 5,000, 6,000 work packages on a project. Now, and if you do it manually, it takes you 10 hours, and if you do it with our tool, it takes you 1 hour. So you can do the math straight away of the number of hours that we will be saving with a tool such as this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's the
okay.
major return on investment that we can show them. Now, once these work packages are created, you also need to make sure that all the constraints associated with it are also taken into consideration, because it's not only enough for me to issue the work package to site. I have to also ensure that all the other activities around this have been completed. Now, by that I mean all the isometric drawings are available for that. All the scaffolding is done. All the safety checks have been done. All the crew have been assigned to that task. So those activities basically can be monitored through what we call it as the look ahead planner. Okay.
Okay.
So I can click on the look ahead planner, and it should basically show me a list of all the work packages on this project, and also the constraint checks. Okay, so it will take a while because
Okay, yeah.
it's basically generating that list. But that look ahead planner then allows us or gives us enough information for the next 6 to 8 weeks, so that my crew is not sitting idle on site when just waiting for information or waiting for the issue of the jobs and things like that. So that look ahead planner actually ensures that all this has been taken care of. Oh, why is it taking so long?
Oh, no problem. I think.
I'm just wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Normally it is quick because I'm running it off the local machine. So yeah, there it is.
Okay.
You see the look ahead planner?
Yeah, I see.
So it's basically listed out all the ones that are already there, and it is telling me at what the status is. Okay. So on the left hand side, it shows me the status. Now, if I look at the legend, so gray means it has not yet been planned. If anything is in green, that means it has not yet started and it does not have constraints. Yellow is it is not started and has constraint. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So WPS again, not started, has constraint, but earlier than today's date. So that has been planned. So this means it should have been started, but it has not. Blue means it is completed, and this light blue means it is just started. So let's take a look at what are the constraints basically that I need to check before I can issue this. Now this also contains what is the early start, early finish dates, and so on and so forth. So if I look at the constraint, it tells me that I have to make sure that all the safety checks have to be done. All the latest information has to be done. So I can just go ahead and check this as I go along. Okay. So, and as I'm checking this, it will also record it. So once I've done the last check, basically that means all my constraints have been met. And then that allows me to then assign the work to the different foremen, assign a date, the start and release date, and then basically issue the job to site. So that way I can ensure that I have enough work for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Okay.
Okay.
So it is not only important for me to create the work package, but it is also important for me to make sure that all the constraints have been met. Okay.
Okay, yeah, nice. That's nice.
That's a very useful tool that we have. Now the other thing that I can show you is, of course, under the construct sim, you have what we call it as the user defined trees. Now the other question that normally gets asked is, oh, why do we need to bring in the same, why can't we use the same CAD model that the engineering team provides? Now my simple answer to that is, we need to bring in the CAD information into construct sim is because the way the construction people look at the CAD model is different to the way the engineering people look at it. Right? Normally in engineering, you go by disciplines, you go by engineering work areas, and then that's how the work gets distributed. Whereas in construction, you need to look at turnover systems, right? So you need to make sure that you not only look at areas, but you also look at the turnover system. That means a particular system has to be completed. So and that could be from area 1 to area 5, right? And I have to ensure that all the information linked to that turnover system is issued. So basically the user defined groups allow me to group that same CAD data in different formats. Okay, one of the user defined groups is the pipe groups. So under the pipe group, I can link, like I can say, I can bring in all the material specific information. So if I want to know what is the material or what are the pipes that are of stainless steel material, so I can quickly go and focus on that. So it will only show me material on my in my project, which is stainless steel. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Or if I want to have a look at similarly carbon steel, I can do that. Same for PVC. Okay. Or I may want to look at the bore size. So I want to know what are the pipes that are from 8-inch to 12-inch bore size on my project. So I can just go and focus on that. So this tells me that all this particular piping is between 8 and 12 inches. Okay. So there are different ways at looking at the same information, and that's the reason why it is important for me to bring that CAD information and then reorganize it according to how the construction people look at that data. Okay, and another important one is the PNID. Let's say I have a PNID and I want to know what are the pipes that belong to that particular PNID. So I can straight away go and look at it in a 3D model, right? Otherwise, normally you have a PNID 2D drawing and then you don't know how to link it to the 3D, or what is that information on 2D that is linked to the 3D drawing. So that way, this provides me a clear-cut indication of what the PNID is and what is the corresponding piping on the 3D CAD model.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this is the kind of information that you can get in ConstructSim. Like I said earlier, it's not a design tool, but it's a construction management tool that allows you to manage your information and also and gives you a visibility in the path of construction, right? So if there is anything that is hindering the progress of the project from a construction point of view, we can straight away analyze that and then basically take corrective action upfront before it becomes a major problem on site. You can take corrective action upfront.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So once your work is completed, then you can go back again and synchronize the same, or you can just download the changes as well. If there is anything on ConstructSim that you feel may have changed, you can download the changes. Or if you have created, let's say, the work packages and now you want to push it back into ConstructSim, you can go ahead and click the synchronize changes button. And then it will go and push everything into a central repository where all the other team members on your project can then see that same information.
Okay, and do you have some kind of history of synchronizing? I mean, when I want to know who and when make some changes to our model. I mean,
yes,
so, we can see it where in ConstructSim or in WPS.
that will be in WPS.
Okay.
That will be in WPS. So that actually maintains like an audit trail.
Yeah, okay, because I think it's very important if something broken or someone doing mistakes.
Yes.
We need to understand who make this, who made this.
Yes.
Okay.
That it's a big. And the other thing, I don't know whether you're familiar with EB and AssetWise. The WPS is running on the EB engine.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, we have an asset engineer in Moscow, so we had discussion about
exactly.
it.
So it keeps the changes, it keeps a track of who did what and when, so that you can straight away have an audit trail. Yeah.
Rodney, one question, not to forget it. When I see some different WPS sales presentations, maybe, I can see a lot of very, very nice reports that I can't find in default distributive. I mean, is it possible to create custom reports for WPS?
Definitely, yes. WPS, now you're talking of these reports, right? The progress reports.
Yes, but when I was trying to use WPS by myself, I can find only very simple tables, very simple. But in presentations, I can see very, very nice. I mean,
colorful ones.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you can do that. Because what we do is basically give you a link through EB to the reporting engine as well. And I think you can use Crystal reports to basically customize your reports if you want to, so that you can generate any customized reports on the information that is there in WPS and have the dashboards and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's because it's again a database driven thing, you can get the information in whatever format you want.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. But this is basically for the demo purpose that we have generated some of default reports. But to answer your question, yes, you can customize the reports.
Okay.
To your liking, yes. Okay.
Okay.
So that's it from my side, Andre. I hope I have given you a good idea of what WPS is and what ConstructSim is and what the two are capable of.
Yeah, you
And
showed
if
me.
you have any further questions or if you have any further clarifications, we can always get together
Hmm.
on another call, and I will take you through those details.
Yeah, thank you, Rodney. You showed me a lot of new functions of WPS. Yeah, I
Not a
really like.
problem at all.
Yes. I really like incremental status
Yeah.
visualization.
Yes.
Look ahead planner. Yes, and
Yes.
these user trees. I mean groups. When you were talking about that project, people looks differently than
Yeah.
construction people to the 3D model. I think it's all
Yeah.
very nice. I mean, it is just very nice ideas to tell
Yeah.
customers to
Correct.
realize how to use this project, this
Perfect.
software.
Product. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
agree because many times, there is some misconception. People think, oh, we already have a tool for reviewing, so why do we need another one for construction? So
Okay.
when we give them these examples, then it makes it more convincing that yes, this is the way to go as far as construction management is concerned. And I think that it is more important to tell it to the construction people because they realize the importance of all of this. If you tell the engineering people, they may not appreciate it that much because all these functions, whether it is a work package or managing the work package or looking at it from a different perspective as far as the user-defined groups are concerned, most of this is done by the construction management group or the construction people on site.
Hmm.
So it is important to tell them than convince the engineering people because they are not concerned about this. As long as they generate a 3D CAD model and they give away all the deliverables, their work is done. Whereas when it's the actual construction crew who need a tool such as this because they plan it and then they have to execute the construction activities, and they find it extremely useful to have something like this with them
Yeah.
rather than just paper drawings.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
so
So thank you very much for your presentation. I think that I don't have more questions now because everything
yeah, yeah,
is answered. Uh,
no problem.
yes, so
Yeah,
I will tell Mikhail that uh, that we had the presentation. I think that later you will discuss with him,
with him
yeah, about the
to
demo.
present it to the user. Yes, I
Yeah.
will do
I,
that.
I think that nothing special. I think that all you presented to me, I already said it's incremental status visualization. Yes, look ahead planner, and so on. I think it will be very useful.
Yes,
And maybe the user will have some questions during your presentation, and they will ask you.
not a problem at all. Not a
Yeah,
problem. I look forward to it. Okay.
yeah, but it,
Thank.
Mikhail will will.
Yeah, yeah. He will set the time and
Yes,
and
yes,
date
yes,
for that.
yes. Okay, Rodney,
Not a
thank you
problem.
very much.
Thank you,
Um,
Andre.